Hey, this is Rick, and welcome to our show. Our show is Spit Takes. I forgot what it was for a second. You can find me on X at Warriors Respite. Rick Gets Real. And how you guys doing? What's going on? How about I was gonna bring up something, but I can't remember what I was gonna bring up.
Do you want to introduce us?
TikTok getting banned. If that happens, unless Trump saves it.
And I'm Adam, and Steph's here too.
We're back.
Yeah, Adam and Steph are here.
This is Rick's show, guys.
I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think of that?
Sure you were. Rick was just gonna talk for the next hour. I know everybody wants to hear that.
And we were gonna sit here and listen.
Who are these people here? Like, I've just been watching him talk.
Who are these weirdos?
So what about TikTok?
Well, everybody's in an uproar because the government's trying to censor us. They say China's after our data, but I think it's more the government just doesn't like how you can talk freely on there. And they had Joe Rogan had Zuckerberg like 10 days, like the other day before they're getting ready to ban TikTok. And Zuckerberg literally admitted that like the government had them, censoring stuff. Had Facebook censoring stuff. But TikTok has refused to like work with the government.
Right.
And so I've been on TikTok. Maybe I wish I would have got on sooner. The way it's been working, because it's like I think sometimes it can be annoying, but like I think it's the best social media because they're just like fuck you, And so I know they in Congress they put out a bill to stop it today. It's more about. I think this is important because it's more about our free speech, right? Like, I think since Elon's taken over X, there's definitely a lot more free speech there.
Yeah,
but not a lot of people there's a lot of people that don't like Elon too. So TikTok's a place where people are able to go on, express how they feel, blah blah blah. Sometimes they do label things misinformation and stuff like that, but. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
So for me, TikTok, I got off TikTok a couple of years ago because it was literally eating into my life. Like I would be like, I'm going to bed, and then 2 hours later, I've been scrolling through, and I'm pretty sure it was like in a really low point in my life. So the algorithm was like, "Don't worry, girl. He's not gonna cut, or he's not gonna go find someone who was like all about guys." So like I hated that like it was going that way, and like it just got too weird, so I went off of it. But of course they're going to be trying to get our information. Let's be real here, most of the social media, everybody has our information anyway, so it's like,
what do you think your phone is in general?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We're going to have ads.
Apple's already got mine.
Yeah.
They're probably selling it.
Yeah. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but like at the same point, I'm not on TikTok, but they still have my information. Every time you fill something out, your information is taken.
Yeah. I'm on TikTok, I'm on X. I never use them for anything really. There's like really no point in me being on them. I'm irritated a lot by general social media nowadays. Like, if I'm scrolling on Facebook, like I'll scroll for a while, and then there's just like a picture of a girl in her underwear sitting there, and they're like, "Here's 10 reasons why you should read a book," and I'm like, I don't get it.
Dead internet theory.
Yeah, it's
all bots now.
Yeah,
and I noticed that because I left Facebook and came back just because I wanted to put my business page on there.
Yeah.
But I went on Face and I actually deleted it from my phone. Because I literally don't care about it, and Instagram.
Yeah.
Because literally it's all bots, and it's weird because like there'll be just this weird picture and a weird thing, like you said, that doesn't match. But then underneath it, it'll be all these comments, but it's like the same comment: blessed, welcome. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you know the dead internet theory is kind of like the internet's being taken over by AI.
I did not know that.
basically.
That
So
makes sense though, because like when you look at some of the things, like they'll be like, oh, what is it? They do the greatest Netflix movie or whatever, and it's a clip from a movie, and it's like, well, you're not even saying the name of the movie, you're just like putting clips up there. So I always thought like some of that was like weird. I'm like, who's putting this content out there?
right.
That makes sense though.
But my thing is like, it's not even like, okay, like I have had a problem with social media in the past and had to, that's why part of the reason why I deleted Facebook and Instagram, stuff like that. I do go on X. I literally just go on to talk about the Bears. Like, that's all I do. I talk about the Bears and what's going on in football, maybe pro wrestling. That's about all I do. I don't even like argue or talk to people anymore about politics or anything like that. In fact, if I see something, I'll just delete it. But yeah, definitely there is a problem with like social media, like addiction and stuff like to like avoid your pain or getting, getting that dopamine drip, kind of just scrolling, endless scrolling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like in a free country, we should be allowed to do that. And you should be allowed to express yourself without the government saying, oh yeah, coming up with an excuse to shut it down. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so first of all, it is separate from China, the TikTok. Everybody's moving over to this Red Note app, which is actually a Chinese app. And like, here's the thing about it though, because people are so nice on there and they're so welcoming and blah, blah, blah. Listen, dude, that's the Chinese government. That's a communist government. They are more restrictive than they are in TikTok. And they can't say anything against China. So now people are talking about how like all these, they're asking China what's wrong with the US, and then the Chinese people are telling the people on Red Note what the US needs to do better. It's like you're literally asking a government entity, because you're literally connecting with a Chinese communist app.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really wild. Any other thoughts on that before we move on?
No. Like I said, I don't know. I'm social media out. I scroll on Facebook, and it's not worth the time that I do it to find the one or two things that make me laugh, or see a trailer pop up for something. But
yeah,
see, my problem is I don't leave the house.
Yeah, I mostly do Instagram, if anything, and it's like that. I get my reels and everything on there, and that's my entertainment. But I haven't been on the podcast in a while, as you guys know, because I have been busy working and getting things done. So it's like I've barely even been on that. I actually turned off all my notifications because I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And I realized I'm not as dependent on it, which has been nice. But I have a lot of friends who are like, they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw on TikTok, or I did this on TikTok, and I kept hearing about it, or I keep hearing that name, and it's almost like a trigger word now, where I'm like, ugh, I hate it.
I'm doing a lot of like YouTube news nowadays. Like I get a lot of my information from YouTube.
Well, that's why I like getting on TikTok and YouTube, because I don't like mainstream media, whether it be Fox or CNN. Like the what do they call the independent journalists and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that actually go through, the ones that I trust, that goes through the news, and tells me what's real and what's not.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the live Trump stuff and everything, and we'll listen to what he's got to say. And I guess we're buying Greenland now, which is cool.
I was seeing a poll on that. It's like 30%. I think it's like, or was it like 15% that want to join the U.S., but it's like 30% that doesn't, and then like the rest don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
but it's like there's only like 56,000 people in Greenland.
Yeah, I know. So it's funny. Well, and I was reading something that, obviously we're not interested in just the strategic location of it. It's also what's underground. They've got a lot of different resources there in Greenland. So It would always be beneficial for us to have it, but I guess we'll see what happens with that.
See, I think our goal is, because he's changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, I think our goal is to, because he talked about getting Canada.
Yeah.
And I think, it makes sense to solve the border crisis, join up with Mexico too.
Yeah.
Which
Why
I'm not
not?
going to be so mad about, because it'd be a lot easier for me to go Tijuana,
Canada
Ugh.
will never sign up with America. They will never do it.
No.
Oh, no. You know how much? I don't want to vote with them.
No.
I don't want Trudeau as president.
It would like their whole medical system would collapse. Like they're a socialist. They're a socialist country right now.
Yeah, but our medical system is about to collapse too. So I'm not gonna.
That is true.
Well,
That is true. Afterwards, remind me to tell you about my work.
oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you kind of talked about it the other day at dinner. Tijuana, though, that's your choice out of all the places in Mexico that you could go. You choose Tijuana.
I don't
Where
know
else can you
what
see a
popped
donkey
up.
show?
I've never been there. I don't know what's there.
Oh my God,
know they have
I got
triple-
left in Tijuana.
Oh, I just know they have like good wrestling down there.
I didn't see that, but I
Lucha
went down
Libres,
there.
baby.
Oh yeah, I went down there and I literally had to, we went down. My boyfriend at the time and I went, and they're like, "Let's go to Tijuana because we're in San Diego." And I was like, "God damn it, this is gonna end bad." It's me and a bunch of guys. My friends that we were with were from San Diego were like, I was like, "I'm ready to go back to America," and they're like, "Well, we're gonna stay and go to the whorehouse," where they were regular, so everybody knew them. Made me take a cab back to San Diego from Tijuana.
That's
I had to
weird.
cross the border. It was a whole mess, but I saw a whole lot down there. I mean, I didn't see a donkey show, thank God, but it was wild. And I was like, this is
What else did you see?
That was definitely how you end up being trafficked.
That's true.
100%.
Well, that's
100%.
weird that they would do that though. Like, I don't know. I would. That doesn't sound like quality people. I don't know if they're your friends, but
Well, listen, we all know that I did not hang around with the best people for a while. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
oh man, yeah.
That was
I don't care for people.
That was
I don't know,
taken for.
Cancun? I don't know. I've never been to Mexico. I don't know what's in Mexico.
yeah, Taken 4. Where was Liam Neeson when I needed him?
Taken for the cab ride to San Diego from Tijuana.
Yeah, me and Adam will, fill the trunk up with shotguns and make our way down there.
Dude, I'm way too out of shape to be doing any of that shit anymore. Gotta outsource now.
That'll make it more entertaining.
Yeah, they'd be like, "You have 48 hours to find me." You guys would be like, "We'll get there in 72. No worries."
Like fuck. Like
I was
Jesus.
watching, because they were talking about using like our special forces and stuff to fight the cartel and stuff, and they're like, "Well, that would be great. I'd get a hard on for that, but the cartel is pretty much owns the government."
Mhm.
And if we work with the government, they're going to know we're coming down there. And they have all the equipment we have. And they've had decades of train on it. So, it's probably not a good idea.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
I've been continuing to watch The Last of Us. That's what it is, right? The one based off of the video game?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like so impressed with how these people are surviving and their skills. And I sit there and I go, I would never survive. I would 100% get eaten by a zombie within minutes and not prepared. I'd be like, "Do you want some candles?" That's all I have. That's all I have to give.
Thicker?
Yeah. So I'm talking about everybody being prepared and they're all trained and whatever. And I just think about it and I'm like, I am not prepared for anything except crossing the border to Tijuana, apparently. That's it.
I got 6 months of emergency food.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, it costs a lot.
down in Nashville, they had snow. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with how snow works in Nashville, but they don't have plows, right? So my friend that lives down there texts me and goes, "Oh my God, the entire grocery store is cleared out. You'd think that there's an apocalypse coming." He's like, "There's no water, there's no toilet paper, there's no milk." And he's like, "It's going to snow like 2 inches. What the fuck is wrong with people?"
Oh my God. Yeah, they couldn't handle this.
Mm-mm.
Well, and I'm sure you guys got it worse than me, and we got it pretty bad because you guys usually have about 10 inches more than me. And
We weren't hit too bad up by me.
Usually about 10 degrees colder. It's pretty bad. It got pretty bad here.
Did it?
The last couple weeks, and that's part of why I did leave the house like one day.
We only got like a couple inches. It's icy and it's frigid. It's really frigid. But in the city, we don't really get as much snow as everybody else because we're near the lake or something. So that's why we don't get it.
But even so, like, you know, all the times where like we've driven to work with like 3 feet of snow on top of our cars.
Yeah.
I used to work at Linden Oaks in Naperville, and I'd have to drive, and I lived in Joliet.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, 30-minute drive, it'd be like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, what was that in like 2010? I think I was living at your apartment at that time for a little while, and we got snowed in, like that big snow apocalypse.
The whole parking lot and everything. Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty deep. Yeah.
And we cooked a turkey in a crock pot because we couldn't get out to go to the grocery store, and that's all the food you had. You had one turkey. We cooked it all day long.
I think it was like Thanksgiving turkey from my job or something like that.
Yeah, that was the only food you had in the house, so we had to cook a turkey.
But you survived.
We survived.
I mean, I can live off a turkey for a week. That's fine.
Yeah, we were okay. But I remember digging my car out of there. Like, I mean, it was a good 2 feet deep all around the car.
We were trying to skip trace.
That's right, we were.
We never found anybody.
We never did any. We didn't even know what we were doing.
Trying to find somebody, and then there's this one. I remember we were like looking at this one girl's MySpace.
Yeah,
that was like MySpace still had pages there in like 2010. Nobody was using them, and she's like, "I'm from here in A-Town." Aurora.
Yeah, we heard you can make money by finding criminals where there were rewards, and we were trying to track them down. That's what we were doing. It was a fun day.
It was harder than we thought.
So going back, if I got kidnapped in Tijuana, I don't think I'd call you guys.
We were not very good at it.
So if anybody is willing to be my protector out there, thank you. All 2 of our listeners.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah. Other than that, LA is still on. There's still like 3 fires in LA, and all the celebrities are mad that one of their mansions burned down, and there's a lot of people that are very unempathetic to it, and there's a lot of people that are mad at the people that are unempathetic to it.
Well, you saw the thing that State Farm canceled coverage against fires about a month before all the fires happened.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's suspect.
They're saying like it started from fireworks, but then they've caught people setting fires.
Yeah. Well, and everybody who was there whose houses got torn down by fire, the insurance companies aren't covering it. Like, their homes are just gone.
Oh my God.
There was one veteran who was prepared. He ran the hose around his house, and then he bought all this stuff, and he put all these hoses over his house with holes in it, and just ran the water on his roof, and then left.
Dang.
So his house is in perfect condition.
Jeez.
But I'll say in the real estate world, I think a lot of those people from LA, I heard they were like flocking to like San Diego or San Francisco, one of the sands. So housing prices have just like skyrocketed because everybody's moving out of LA right now and trying to buy something new. So
that's another thing that they weren't paying their firefighters too.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's shitty.
Yeah. And it's funny because Trump was on Joe Rogan and he literally said this was going to happen. And this was like 3 months beforehand.
Yeah. And it blows. Okay, so like I know the infrastructure is not set up like this, but the fact that LA is sitting right next to a giant body of water and there have been having increasing amounts of forest fires, I would think maybe we'd want to flow some of that water in with some pipes. I know it's an expensive fix, but
Could solve some problems.
could solve some problems.
Well, they're too busy paying poop patrol.
What the fuck's Poop Patrol?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, like literally, like they have, because people just poop in the streets, they, just like you pay your fire department or your police department, they have a poop department that goes around washing off poop. I think it's more San Francisco, though.
Oh, why are they pooping in the streets?
Because there's no rules.
Because it's
They don't arrest people for it.
because it's
They
it's
literally
California.
allow people to go into stores and steal up to a certain amount of stuff, and nobody can do anything about it.
That's actually around the U.S. That's common. I know one of my friends used to work at Eddie Bauer, and she's flat out told me that if I were to walk into the store and just take a bunch of coats and shoes and leave the store, they couldn't do anything about it. And then I was like, well, then why am I paying for all of this stuff if I could just take it and there's no repercussions? And she goes, yeah, no. She's like, we allot for a certain amount of inventory to be stolen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of these companies have been leaving those places.
Yeah.
And going to like Nashville and Houston and or Austin and stuff like that.
Yeah. California is just it's a different animal over there.
Yeah.
Everything's fucked up.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to go there. I am going to go there actually later this year. I'm going to San Francisco or later this year, actually.
I did not love San Francisco when I was there.
Well, I'm not going for vacation. I have a retreat that I have to do for my meditation. So I have to do that for a week. And actually, I'm trying to spend the week after in Lake Tahoe. Which
That'll
looks
be nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard good things about over there. I've never been there.
And that's Nevada, so that's different.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of, I don't know if this is where it is. Okay, so going back to the social media thing, I kind of fell down this rabbit hole of legal brothels. And there's this woman I follow on Instagram, and she's the manager of one, and she's like, this is a day in the life, and this is what it happened. And she like tells these stories, and I'm so intrigued by it. And I've decided that's what I should be. I should be a madam of a legal brothel.
You want to be a madam?
Yes, but I don't think Chicago allows that.
No, you have to go to like Vegas.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like in Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
They had the
Totally.
brothel in there.
Uh-huh. Did you finish it?
I didn't. I don't know if there's a new episode. I watched up to what was there, and I really like it. Like we were saying, though, it is like I do wish it wasn't rated R.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like these are superheroes. Why don't you want kids watching this? Like you can make it more adult but kid friendly.
So my thing with it was that if this was like a standalone thing that they did, different story. But this is all supposed to tie into the new DCU that James Gunn and Peter Safran are
But
creating.
they literally had the scientist and the bride banging.
Yes.
Like is that going to happen in DCU?
I guess.
That's what
I don't know.
saying. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to take my kids to Superman without thinking that Superman's going to start having a porn with Lois Lane all of a sudden.
I mean, I think they're going to do it the same way that they're kind of doing Deadpool in the MCU, where it's like they're going to have it there for the fans, but you don't necessarily have to watch it to know what's going on in the next ones.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then why have it be all adult themed?
Yeah. Well, and and I mean, I really enjoyed the show. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the show a lot.
The show's good. Like we were talking about, I really like GI.
GI Robot was the best.
He's he just wants to kill Nazis, and it makes him happy.
Yeah, and that's like the best part where he's like, it's playing music and he's just smiling and killing Nazis.
I did finish it because at the end she walks in and they're all there.
And GI Robots,
and King Shark was there and stuff.
Yep. Okay, cool. You did finish it then.
I did finish it.
Yeah, it made me happy seeing GI Robot again.
Yeah,
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Back because his head was still alive,
Yeah, I thought he might come back. I was hopeful because I was like, he was my favorite character.
Yeah, him. I liked Dr. Phosphorus. I
did too.
His story. So you were talking about Weasel's story being pretty sad. And it was sad, but Dr. Phosphorus had the fucked up story.
His was pretty fucked up. And when I said that Weasel was my favorite, it was before I had seen the Phosphorus one. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit.
The Phosphorus one's pretty sad.
That's pretty fucking dark.
But at the same time, it does have kind of a Punisher. Except they got more. Well, I don't know if Punisher probably got pretty gory in the comic books, but in the cartoon, it was pretty graphic.
Yeah. We're talking about a show called Creature Commandos on HBO Max.
Rich people.
It's supposed to kick off the new DCU with like Superman and Batman and everything. So it's like the first in the new.
It's like Suicide Squad, but with monsters.
Yeah.
Dr. Dr. Waller's in it. Amanda Waller's in it. Rick Flag Sr.'s in it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
And everybody did a great job.
I thought it was good.
I thought Frankenstein was funny.
I don't know what Sean Gunn's voicing.
He was voicing Weasel.
I know. What's he voicing?
The sound effects, I guess.
Wait, is it like a cartoon?
It's a cartoon, yeah.
Oh, I don't like cartoons.
Well, whatever.
It's an animated series.
Yeah, probably won't do that. I was going to say, give me your HBO Max login, but never mind.
I don't have HBO Max. Dad does.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is a good show. It was a fantastic show.
I'd say it's Suicide Squad / Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I get from it.
It is. And James Gunn does a really good job with like the team ups.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does a good job with like a group of lovable misfits put together to, on a mission.
Now I am upset that spoiler alert that what's her name? The fish girl?
Yeah.
That happened to her.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really get to see her in action.
No. Like I didn't get the point of her.
They're like, because Waller's like, wait till you see her underwater.
Yeah.
Well, when are we going to see it?
Well, we did see it, and it did not turn out well.
Right. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, she was terrible. But yeah, no, I mean, with James Gunn, his, because he had the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, he had Suicide Squad, and now he's done Creature Commandos, and he's always done these like fun team up ones. So it's gonna be interesting to see him go into something different now, like doing Superman and the other movies.
And he tries to make things comic book accurate and stuff like that, while adding his own flavor to it. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking with the creature features. It's got more of a trauma vibe. Yeah, that's where he started.
Yeah,
that's where he cut his teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I've been reading some things about Superman. First of all, apparently early test screenings are very positive about the new Superman movie coming out. And I've also been reading some different articles with him kind of promoting the movie. And the message he's trying to deliver with it, I think, is right on, which makes me think that he's really capturing the essence of Superman.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I don't even care about Superman. I'm just ready for Crypto.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Crypto. That's
really what I'm excited about. A live action Crypto.
Crypto's always my favorite part of like any of the shows and movies. Like in
Huh?
I think Steph fell asleep.
In Titans, when Crypto came in, I love seeing him.
Crypto is Superman's dog.
Yeah.
He wears a cape. Like Superman.
That's fun.
Even the DC League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
The movie, the animated movie. I liked it. I really liked that one. I thought it was funny.
You know, I took Lana was. I can't believe how fast they grew up. Lana was still like what 9 when that came out. 8,
a few years,
9.
A few years ago. Yeah.
Now she's like almost 12, and she would not be interested in that. That's how quick things change. So you got kids where you can still enjoy that with them.
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy it myself. I don't give a shit if they like it.
Yeah, but it's just more fun when you have children and you can enjoy stuff with them.
Yeah, it is more fun when they're into it.
That's why my daughter's in the Squid Game, so it's fun.
I'm almost done with season 2. I thought I only had 2 episodes left. I had 3. And the one I just watched was like an hour and a half long. I like got on the treadmill yesterday. I'm like, cool, I can catch an episode. And I was like, maybe I'll have time to watch another. And I got done on the treadmill after like 30 minutes. And I was like, how much longer do I have? Oh, 55 minutes left. Great. So I only made it through one more episode last night. But the second season's been really good.
Yes.
It's been really good.
Have you watched Squid Game stuff?
No, but everybody keeps talking about it. My problem is like when I start a show, I just don't finish it. So it's like I gotta like really set aside time, and it's one of those things where you like have to watch, right? Like you can't be doing anything in the background. Yeah, see, I'm not good at that. I don't actually watch TV. I just have it on.
I think it's one of those shows that you want to watch, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like a lot of shows I'll watch just because, you know, it's entertaining. But Squid Game's one of those things, this is probably the best thing on TV right now.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. What's it on?
It's on Netflix. That, and I was telling Adam about this the other day, Severance on Apple TV. Fantastic. And that's another one where you have to watch. It's, what's his name? Scott?
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott.
Okay.
What's her name? Hannah. What's her name?
I don't know.
Splash.
I'll look it up.
Splash.
Daryl Hannah.
Basically, the show is people sign up for this job, but they kind of, when they go into the job, they are not them. It's like a whole new person. So they're not conscious during the job. It's like a different consciousness that takes over.
Are you talking about Severance?
Severance, yeah.
Yeah, I saw okay, I know what you're talking about now. Steve and I saw like trailer for it, and he's like, we need to try this. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, and so they basically tell them like nothing. They don't tell them what's going on outside, so they call them the innie and the outie. And so the innies kind of start revealing the secret thing about what their job actually is and stuff like that. And they actually want to get out. Like they think they deserve to live a real life. Like because once the person quits or retires, that person, he's dead. He's not doesn't exist anymore, right? Like that person on the inside does not exist. He's like, well, I want to keep living. So it's really interesting, and it ended perfectly. The first season ended perfectly. I think I'll probably go for another season.
All right, maybe I'll try it.
But yeah, it's definitely that and Squid Game are the two best shows on streaming TV, whatever, right now.
Yeah, and Squid Game
is about to come out in 3 days.
Yeah, Squid Game came in hot with season 2. Like the first 2 episodes were just so beautifully written. Like you were just
I didn't want them to go back into the game. I was actually having fun with them out there, like planning and everything,
trying to find out how to stop the games and stuff.
Yeah.
I know. I was like really intrigued by that, and then I understand, he's got to end up in the game. So
but he ended up back in the game. I'm like, it took me a little bit to get into it again, but I was like, oh, this is good. Like, especially when they got the front man involved.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
he's amazing. That actor is probably one of the best bad guys I've ever seen.
They did good, and they like, you know, brought in like new games and stuff to kind of put him like off guard, and
Yeah.
you know, when they were doing the red light green light in the very beginning, you know, when he's kind of leading people through it, like just so awesome.
But spoiler alert, how did the bees get in there? See, they were
No.
getting involved. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't
I didn't
don't
realize
say too
that.
much.
I won't tell you too much. I didn't
No.
realize that. I think this is something to note because I didn't realize that. It took me a while to like figure that out. I was like, well, why are there like bees in there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, they know he's there,
Yeah.
and they know he's going to try to stop everything. So we're going to spoil the plan.
Yeah. But so well done, and like, you know, the dubbing doesn't even bother me. Like, you know, you don't really it doesn't bother you at all watching it.
No, South Korea's got some good stuff going on, to tell you the truth.
They do. And the fact that this show came out of like really nowhere and had such an original design. I mean, I guess I don't know if you can call it original. I mean, because you got, you know, Hunger Games, you've got Battle Royale, you've got a bunch of different things. You know, people put in like games to compete for, you know, to live. Running Man. You know, so original, but like the way they did it was very, very well done.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what was that other Korean movie that came out a couple of years ago that was really good, where they were like living in the house?
Parasite?
Parasite.
I
never
was going
saw
to
it.
say Cabin in the Woods.
No, I never saw Parasite, but I heard it was good.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Battle Royale?
I've never seen it. Everybody talks about it. I've never seen it.
That's like Hunger Games before Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I think it was Japanese. And it is much more gory. Like,
Yeah.
And yeah, I watched that a while ago. It was really good, though. Like, kids getting axed in the head and stuff like that.
There was another one that some friends from work were telling me about back when Squid Game first came out. It was, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was like, they had people on like different levels, like different platforms, right? In this like giant building. And they would, you know, the ones on top would eat and whatever they didn't want floated down to the next group, the next group, the next group. I can't remember the name of this, but they said it was like a really interesting idea. And it was actually really good. I never got a chance to see it, but then like you could like attack a different level and stuff. And it was like a weird hierarchy of what was going on, but similar idea, you know, just like some kind of game where people are competing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
I remember what I wanted to say, talk about the beginning now, though. Apparently there was this show, what was that show called? In 2007. And it was a reality show. And see, this is why I like TikTok, because I discover stuff that I didn't know about. It was called, was it Kids World or something like that? Kids Nation. And it lasted one season. So basically they got these kids and they said, can kids survive? You know? Yeah. And so basically no adults, just putting kids out there to survive in the desert.
Wasn't there a book like that?
And but this is the reality show in 2007. And like
DCF, I remember this show. I know what you're talking about.
Go on season 2.
I think correct.com did an article about it, and like they had clips from the show on there. Like it was really messed up.
Yeah, I was watching stuff on TikTok, but what's funny, and this is another reason why I like TikTok, because one of the producers on the show came on and said, or did a video, because he has his own TikTok, and it was like, oh, it was overblown. All these accusations are overblown. Like a kid literally, and they have what is it? who does all the like comedians, Dark Side of Comedy, Vice. So they did a Dark Side of Reality show, and this kid literally talked about how it was this thing that was shaped like a drink, looked like it was like a citrus drink, and he sat and took a big swig out of it, and it was bleach. And so he started feeling the burning in his stomach and stuff like that. And the ambulance had to come and get his stomach pumped. Well, I watched this producer saying, "Oh, he just took a drink. It was an accident. It was overblown." You know, but it's like they intentionally set this stuff up for the kids.
Wow,
that's pretty fucked up.
And there's like this one clip of this kid just like crying and stuff like that, just bawling his eyes out. But nobody's getting involved, and the cameraman's just smiling.
What was the name of the show again?
Kid Nation. I actually want to watch the whole show now.
There was a it was crack.com, I think, that did it. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It was so funny though when they talked about it. But reality TV is like just strange in itself. I mean, so I sent this, I think I sent it out in like a Snapchat. It was like, I was cruising like Hulu or something, and then I saw MILF Manor.
Oh yeah.
It's legitimately a show about MILFs trying to get with like younger guys, and I think there's a twist to it where like the younger guys are like the sons of the MILFs and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's something strange like that. But it's the funniest thing because 30 Rock did a joke about this, and like this was like 10 years ago. They did a joke about this, and they did there was a show that Jack Donaghy had produced called MILF Island, which was like a very similar.
Remember that? Yeah.
And it became this really popular show, and it was just like a bunch of like hot women on an island, like, and these kids. But it was a joke. But then they actually did it.
Oh my God. Speaking of which,
it's on season 2. It made it to season 2.
Yeah, I've heard like it's actually quite amusing. I haven't watched it. Maybe I'll do that tonight while I'm updating things. But
well, I was going to say, watch the Jerry Springer documentary.
Really?
I want to watch that.
I watched that, and I was like, man, my childhood was wild. Like, they literally, people would come on with a lot of times legit concerns, some messed up stuff where a dude actually quit because it got so messed up. But like they would literally, before the show, the producers would really try to get them angry and really try to get their nervous system up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that makes sense.
And yeah, because like, why are so many people fighting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like every show, I didn't know that went on to 2018. It was like every show someone was fighting. But like it started out with Jews and KKK and bringing them on stage. And then the first thing they did was start fighting. I was like, wow, my childhood was wild because I was watching that. And I was watching that like every day.
Well, I know, like you stay home sick and you're like, I'm going to watch Jerry Springer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like that was the entertainment. And like at the time you didn't realize like how intense it actually was. If you look back as an adult, you're like, what the fuck? Why was I watching this?
Because like now as an adult, you're like, I wouldn't let my kid watch that. And also I'm like, this isn't normal. And this wouldn't be allowed on TV these days.
We watched trash bags go at it with each other. It was great.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the movie Center Stage with Jamie Presley?
It's not Jamie Presley.
Yeah.
The one, the dancing movie?
No, not the dancing movie. You're thinking, no, hold on.
With Amanda Scholl?
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one. Hold on. The Jerry Springer movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ringmaster. I'm sorry, it was Ringmaster.
Yeah.
You're right. Center Stage was the beauty pageant. Ringmaster was
it, but yes.
Huh? Yeah, it was. Wasn't it?
No. Center Stage was about ballet.
It was not a heterosexual movie.
No, I never saw it. But Ringmaster was the name of the movie. That had Jamie Presley in it.
Should probably mark that.
Nah, fuck that. Let me be wrong once.
No, Rick's comment.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
That. We ain't woke.
But no,
People are
Ringmaster.
bringing back the R word. I think I'm fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally, people are bringing it back.
Never knew why it went away.
Yeah, I was like, did it go away?
It did. Socially.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You know, for a long time, it was like very much watch what you say. It's a slur.
Mm.
But now it's like I think it's in the middle where you can say some stuff, but it's like don't go too far because on Twitter the last couple days, a dude at the Eagles game. I don't know if you've seen that. There's this woman.
No.
So Eagles fans are freaking ridiculous. I would never go to Philadelphia Eagles game. And so there's Eagles and Packers, and this couple were there in Packers, gear and stuff like that. And she was cheering because something good happened. And he goes, shut up, you effing, see you next Tuesday. And he's like, don't call my wife that. And he's like, watch the fucking game. Shut your mouth, And it's like, listen, if you've seen Eagles fans video and stuff like that, they'll gang up on you. So it's like I could understand why he didn't say anything at that time. And so he posted it on TikTok or on X. And then next thing you know, I found his Twitter. I found his LinkedIn page. I found his boss's email. And
Wow.
now that company is like, we're doing an investigation on it and we don't condone this. And then the Philadelphia Eagles banned him for life.
Wow.
So it's like, bam, his life is ruined.
Wow.
That sucks.
You gotta really be careful.
Yeah.
I don't have a boss, so I don't care. But I'm not going to do anything. But
Yeah. I'm careful about what I say just because I think it's just been ingrained in me.
And he's like a business analyst at this place. Like he's got a good job and stuff like that.
Damn. That sucks.
It sucks that you can put somebody on blast like that.
Right.
At the same, I'm not I don't know what happened beforehand, but there is no case where I'm going to sit there and say, shut the F up, you see you next Tuesday. I'm not going to say that to a woman.
No, I wouldn't either.
As a female, that term doesn't bother me. I know I'm in the minority on that, but I would just be like, okay. And I would spit something back at him. But I know a lot of people do find that word very offensive. So I just know that for me, I'm like,
well, it's basically shaming her for cheering for her team by calling her a C.
Yeah. That's not right.
And being very aggressive and threatening.
Yeah. Listen.
That's the thing. Don't talk or I'm going to kick your ass, basically.
Right. No, that's fair.
That's a different story. If they were bantering back and forth, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But he's being very aggressive and angry with her.
Right.
Sure.
You can't talk. You can't cheer for your team. I remember when I went to a Bears game, they're playing the Ravens, and I was pissing off this Ravens fan because every time something happened, I'd look over at him and go. And so I think one of their kicker kicked the field goal and he did it back to me. But we're not sitting there don't cheer for your team,
You're not being volatile.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was tension, but it wasn't we're gonna go after each other tension.
Right. It wasn't gonna escalate beyond what it was that. Right. No, I get that. But man, those East Coast fans, they can be aggressive. They can be scary. They love their teams. But probably also they've had more winning teams and the Bears are just used to being stomped on. So we're just used to it. Speaking of, Adam's sleeping because it's football.
Yeah. What happened?
It's almost coming to an end. Just sad. My bank account's really excited though because I keep betting. The NFL, I swear to you, is rigged.
Oh no, I won't bet because I never win.
I'm in a group chat with our other two siblings, and every week we're like, what are you guys betting? What are you guys betting? Our brother Eric is the luckiest person ever. And like always wins, and he's even lost a bunch this year. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, this is all rigged. They have to be looking at like what's going on and being like, well, don't hit this because everybody's betting this. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, they'll stop like what's his name? Running back for the Eagles. He got a breakaway at the end of the game, and instead of running it in, he just slid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, hold on a second there. Like that score could have made a big difference for some people. Why did you slide? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, you could say you're trying not to run up the score, but let's be real. Is it because of Vegas? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they definitely have their hand in the pot for sure. I'm going to pivot really quick because I think you guys have talked about this before, but I just started watching Silicon Valley. Have you guys watched it?
I've seen it
Been a long time.
So it ran, like Steve randomly put it on the other day and I was laughing so hard. My favorite character in there is Dinesh, who Adam was that Murderville, the one that like I was crying laughing over. Where did you watch it? I think I made you watch it with me. Where he's like walking down the
I watched
hall.
the Santa Claus one.
Yeah, that's a good one. We watched that on Christmas Eve actually at our house.
I know there's two of them.
I want them to do more.
I know. I wish they would.
So that was a funny show.
It was
I know who you're talking about. It's God, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
He's in the Eternals.
Yes.
Kumail
Nanjiani.
Yeah, he's so great in that show, and I just picture him in like the hallway of the school doing the like the walk that he does with the dinosaur sounds, and I'm like, I think it's funny, and Steve is probably like, why is this so funny to you? But I'm like, because I'm picturing this character, but he kind of plays like that same type.
He's so funny. I want to watch more of his stand-up. He was in the History of the World Part 2. Like, he did a couple of bits in there, but the best one he did, which the show itself, like, it was okay. But, like, his thing, he did he was pitching the Kama Sutra. So he's like, it's a book that tells you about sex and soups. And he's like, because I love sex and soup. When I'm not going slurp, 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 I'm eating soup. It was just so funny. His delivery is so great.
I just can't stand Seth Rogen anymore.
What is he in?
He was in that show, that movie.
Oh, was he?
He was he was like producing it or whatever.
Why don't you like Seth Rogen?
I think he's a bitch.
Okay.
And I think he's kind of played out. I don't think he says anything funny anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of like Jonah Hill. Like, I don't find Jonah Hill funny anymore.
Like, he just got, I smoke weed. All I do is smoke weed.
He does
doing that.
He does a lot of producing nowadays. I mean, a lot of the shows he's produced have been really good. He did
Preacher, which I liked.
He did Preacher. He did Gen V, The Boys, Invincible.
But I'm sorry, what's that Wiener movie? It was the worst.
Oh, Sausage Party?
It's so bad.
It was so weird.
It was bad. I did not like it.
I was like, why are the foods trying to have so much sex? It makes me not want to ever eat food again.
They tried to make like an animated movie that was just like foul. That's all.
I mean, they've succeeded.
But it wasn't like good.
See, I think the biggest reason I stopped liking Seth Rogen, and I think it's part of why I became sober, is because he keeps talking about, like, every time I see him, he's like, I smoke weed, all the weed I smoke. And he said something like, this is great. I just get to lay in my bed naked all day smoking weed. And if I had kids, I couldn't do that. And I'm like, I don't care that you smoke weed. I don't know why that's all you talk about, why you got to tell me about it. But, like, and I started thinking, well, my kid's the most important thing in the world to me, But if she's the most important thing in the world to me, why am I drinking? So I stopped drinking altogether, stopped using weed altogether, and that was that. But so I can give him credit for that. but it's just like every time I see him, it's just like, dude, you're like almost 50. Grow up. Like, there's got to be a point where you can like just say, okay, weed's below me now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not to say you can't have a drink or have a joint every once in a while, but there's got to be a point where it's like you grow up. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Snoop Dogg didn't have it in my face as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's probably just because that's like his shtick now. That's what it's expected. So it's like.
It's part of his personality.
Yeah. Like,
point.
Does he smoke that much weed or is it just for the persona?
But like Cheech and Chong didn't really smoke weed like that. I'm not saying they didn't smoke weed. Well, Chong did. Cheech wasn't really like, that wasn't like his whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's a good point. It's like, if your personality is weed, that's where it's like, man, you're just insufferable to me. Like, you be you. If you want to make that your personality, that's fine somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a part of that,
Yeah.
I think Seth MacFarlane's like that too. Like he just smokes like a ton of weed. It's like, just kind of his persona. He's like he's pretty far left wing. Like he can pick on the left too, but like but Seth MacFarlane, from what I understand, he's like a huge like weed smoker too.
Yeah, I never hear about it though. Like, okay. That's fine. Smoke your weed, whatever, But also that kind of tells me though, like, if you feel like you got to smoke that much weed to be happy, maybe the money's not doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was never a big weed smoker. I'll eat an edible here and there, but like, never really understood it. No judgment to anybody who does, but for me, I was like, it would almost make me like more paranoid. Like my migraines, everyone's like, you should try eating an edible or smoking weed, and I'm like, it's just going to make it worse. It like exasperates it. I think that's the word.
I judge people who smoke. Shouldn't touch that devil's lettuce. Stay white.
I think I got you high your first time.
No.
No.
No. I think I've done it like 3 or 4 times in my life total.
Maybe it was Eric.
It was not for me. Probably Eric or Kim. It was not for me. I never liked it.
Yeah. I don't think anybody in our family really does. Maybe mom.
Maybe. I don't know. She does like to go to the weed store.
She loves going there. Oh my God. When we went to the Ozarks this year, she brought edibles. Me, her, and Andrew ate them. And I think they were on Dad's team for a game that we were playing.
I remember hearing this story.
I thought Dad was going to lose his fucking mind. Because those two it was... I'm trying to
understand what's going on.
Yeah, we're all just sitting there like, you just put a letter down. That's it. You got this. I'm like, I was like, thank God Kim's not on that team. Anyway, off track.
You want to talk about some movie before we end?
I wanted to talk about Saltburn, but you guys didn't watch it, so your homework this week is to watch Saltburn.
Playoffs, though.
Well, I'll try to see if I can find it. I do. So, okay, real quick before we go. So I saw the trailer for the new Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare.
What?
So, this movie they're doing a whole twisted childhood universe. Mm-hmm. So it started with
the Poohverse.
The Poohverse, yeah.
Because I seen a picture of Steamboat Willie as well.
Yeah. So they're doing like a whole universe of like twisted childhood stories. And it started with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. They're doing Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare. They're doing Bambi the Reckoning.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch more that are planned right now. And they're all like really twisted, dark movies. Like they're slasher movies, basically.
I will watch none of them.
Now that I saw the trailer for the Peter Pan one, I'm kind of intrigued to watch a couple of these.
But the thing is, though, that horror film is probably closer to the original Peter Pan, because the original Peter Pan was like, if you grow up, we're going to kill you, and all the pirates were lost boys that grew up, and Hook was like the first lost boy.
Yeah.
Well, do you know like the backstory of Peter Pan is actually that he's the angel of death, and he takes children who die to Neverland, which is like heaven. And so the theory is that everybody's actually dead there already. And Hook is the devil.
Well, the original Peter Pan, he was killing lost boys that grew up.
He was, yeah.
But I think there was other variations.
Yeah.
Well,
later on too.
The guy who wrote it, J.M. Barrie, I mean, his thing looks like an early draft of Hard Candy, like the way he was. So like, it's not what you saw in that movie with Johnny Depp, okay? Like J.M. Barrie, like basically made friends with this family, the Davies, right? And he started writing. So he started writing like short stories and poems about the kids. One of the stories was about him getting naked and climbing into the baby's crib with it to cuddle it. Yeah, this is the guy who wrote Peter Pan. And like, there's a bunch of stuff like they were, even the kids were asked, like, hey, you know, did he ever try to touch you or, you know, inappropriately or anything like that? And they were like, no, he never, you know, the way they phrased it was something like they put in details that you really probably didn't need to put in details for if it didn't happen to you. Like the way they were phrased, they're like, no, he didn't do that answer. Like, it's really messed up. Like, read about this guy. Like, he was really a sicko, like Michael Jackson type guy.
Michael Jackson's innocent.
I think he's innocent of child molestation, but I think that the way he interacted with kids was not exactly appropriate.
Nah,
he also didn't grow up in a normal life, so he was still, he was
chemically castrated.
Yeah. I don't think
but I don't think he did anything wrong.
Well,
no.
Well, read up on J.M. Barrie. It's some pretty fucked up shit.
It kind of reminds me of The Magicians, like that whole first season.
Yeah.
Look up Razor Fist. There's 2 parts. On YouTube, Razor Fist, Michael Jackson, and he proves that Michael Jackson's innocent. Anyways, what were you saying? What is Saltburn on?
I saw it on Plex, so I don't know. Okay. But it's like, I'm still thrown off. I think it's been like a week and I'm still thrown off by this movie because it was so weird. And I found out there were certain scenes that were improvised, and I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but when we talk about it, I'll tell you which ones. But like, there were certain scenes that were improvised. It's basically like this like loser English nerd kid in college makes friends with this rich English guy, and he goes and stays with the family of the rich people, and it's like their crazy life story. I figured out it's like a twist, quote unquote, but like I figured out the twist early on. You guys probably will too, but like it's so messed up, the things that I saw. There's one part where I literally had my mouth just covered the entire time. Like, there's no fucking way this is going on right now. And Steve's just watching me dying because he knew what was happening. And he's like, and he knows me, so he knows my reactions. And I was just like, oh my God. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when it gets to that point. But it's crazy. It was very well done, but it was just the most messed up movie I've seen in a very long time.
Sweet. Yeah. All right. We'll check it out soon. We'll see how much time I got. By the way, I just received a word breaking that the guy, I think his name was like Scott Caldwell or something like that. Ryan Caldwell or something like that. It is Ryan Caldwell, the Eagles guy. He was officially released from his job from BCT Partners. And they released a statement basically saying, like, although we condemn that language, we show support for him. So I have a feeling like they're not really firing him.
No. Yeah, it's just for publicity.
I think they're just waiting for it all to blow over. And they're going to bring him back.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm wondering if a lot of people are saying this, but it's like, okay, did somebody antagonize him? But at the same time, like, I look at Eagles fans' videos and see bullshit. But like at the same time, like I'm not gonna call someone up, see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's all.
But it's also the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Realistically, you can, if you were fired.
But it doesn't mean
go to-
freedom of consequences.
Yeah. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Like government doesn't run my work, my job. You know what I mean?
I mean,
my business
yeah.
that I own.
Yeah. You can talk shit and get slapped in the mouth still.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some homework, all of us, for the next week. Actually, I'll be in Florida next week. So 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks.
2 weeks to watch Saltburn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have like 3 shows I'm like watching intermittently right now.
I'm trying to watch Shrinking, but it kind of pisses me off.
I finished it. I liked it.
Season 2?
Yeah.
Well, it just pisses me off because of how unethical it is as a therapist.
Huh.
Like, the thing, no, it's not just that it's unethical. It's just the fact that this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, I would not, first of all, there's no way in hell. Well, I'm not saying any therapist wouldn't do that. Looking at, what's her name? Ruby Rose or whatever. Mm-hmm. The one that abused her children. And
Gypsy Rose.
Huh?
Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose.
That's someone else.
Oh.
No,
Gypsy Rose is someone else.
It's like Ruby Rose and like, it's Utah. And she worked with a therapist. And then her and her therapist took her kids. And then the kid was like malnourished. And had duct tape on his wrist and stuff like that. Went to the neighbor.
Oh my god!
So she was like a YouTube star, one of those family vlogging people. Look her up; it's fucked up.
Damn.
What was I saying though? But like, okay, I wouldn't have a patient stay at my house. First of all, that's crossing boundaries, and my boss would not allow me to do that. Second of all, like someone would call the licensing board and say, hey, this therapist is housing a patient.
Yeah.
Somebody would do that. And then I would probably get my license revoked.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm just watching and be like, this just would not happen. That's just not feasible.
Dang.
I just ignore that part because the rest of the show is actually pretty amusing.
It's pretty good. It's just annoying.
I love Derek. Derek is my life goals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's who I want to be. Yeah, that's who I want to be. Jefferson from Married with Children.
Katie Seagal is going to be at Comic-Con.
I love her. She's so good.
I'm so excited. She's going to be there. Winston Ghostbusters going to be there.
Ernie Hudson.
Captain Kirk's going to be there. It's going to be wild. I'm going to make so many friends.
It's a good lineup.
I know.
Yeah. When is it?
March. My daughter's birthday. March like 14th through 17th or something like that.
That's my birthday.
We got a hotel and VIP passes, baby.
Nice. Well, you guys also, you know what's coming up. And if any of our listeners or anybody that's new wants to join in, we have Valentine's Day coming up. And I feel like we should bring back our episode on the Valentine's Day.
Rom-coms.
Something more interesting.
Yeah.
That's, we don't have to do rom-coms.
Yeah. But if anybody has suggestions, drop it in the comments.
We could do something more interesting.
I thought that was a good episode.
Yeah, but I think I watched them all. I think I'm good. I watched them all.
Maybe we'll do like Valentine's Day slasher movies or something, or horror movies.
Yeah, maybe.
Come on.
What popped into my head was, you've seen The League, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing where it was Rafi and whoever Seth Rogen's character was, when they were like they were talking about The Accused, which is I don't know if you know that movie. It's one with Jodie Foster where she gets like basically gang raped and stuff. But like Rafi is talking to Seth Rogen and he mentions the movie, and then Seth Rogen's like, "Oh, what's that movie about?" And Rafi's like, "Oh, it's this beautiful love story." And everything. It's like how fucked up he is. I miss that show. I love that show so much.
Maybe we
know.
just do best love stories, but it doesn't have to be, it could be like
Doesn't have to be
Leia
rom-com.
and Solo. You know what I mean? Like our favorite love stories from anything,
Yeah.
Favorite couples. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob.
It's classic.
Kidding.
Well, I mean more Billy Bob and the overweight African American lady in Bad Santa.
Yeah.
I did love them.
Actually, what's her name? The Gilmore Girls chick.
I don't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
her name.
With
Yeah.
the daddy issues.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Santa issues.
Yeah.
Santa
yeah.
issues.
Yep. Yep. Well, we can discuss that. And if anybody has comments or suggestions, we are happy to take them. All 2 of our listeners. Dad,
Hey, Black History Month's coming up again too.
that is true.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think we're all nice and tired.
I'm waiting
So-
for Adam.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll take us out of here. All right, thank you for listening. And if you guys enjoyed what you listened to today, make sure that you share it on Facebook, X, wherever you share it, and check out our next episodes and some of the ones you might have missed. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Level up,
Bye.
guys.